Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Depps.
I'm Katie.
I have Viking blood in my blood.
Blood in your blood?
It's part of it, yep.
Do you want to explain?
Not really. But welcome to the show, everyone. My name's Cameron.
Nana almost just took out our
That was
cameras.
really
We're all
scary.
like, yeah, that was exciting.
Nana has made a game of climbing under the camera, so if you ever see us reacting like something very, very bad is about to happen, that's probably why.
My theory is that because she used to be a show dog, that she sees like things and she's like, I need to weave in and out of this.
Is that what show dogs do?
Wasn't she the one that just sat there and was pretty?
I don't know.
I think she stood, because I think they were supposed to stand
Look
and
at that sack.
now she's
She's
sitting
doing right
in
now.
pretty, so who knows?
I don't know.
Any biscuits, if you'd like to talk to us on the internet,
Biscuits are good.
as the best way to talk of all things, use the hashtag Geeks Corner on the Twitters. That way we can talk back at you, or about you, or...
Both.
Yep.
All of the above.
Mm-hmm. I'm having a hard time with words. It's going to be a good show.
Gonna be a
All
good
right.
show.
This last weekend we went to Disneyland, as we do every Sunday. You're
gonna
more
say-
than welcome to join
Yeah,
us.
I was like,
It's
just
a lot more
this
fun
last
with a lot more people. But it started raining, which some of us weren't exactly prepared for. And
I
we
wasn't.
decided to have dinner at Earl Sandwich anyway. And this is just how ingenuitive is a good word that Cameron is. Can we make that picture bigger?
Oh, sweet. Shout out for umbrella skills.
For
It was
umbrella skills.
amazing.
So what you see here is my camera bag holding up an umbrella so that we could all cram underneath it and eat our sandwiches without them becoming too mushy or something, right?
I had a
So-
salad, so...
I was gonna say, not pictured is my favorite part. Mr. Dapps is up getting his food, and they have the little baskets in the middle that have like a little thing you can like place, like at a restaurant you can place like a little number or something.
The condiment holder.
The condiment holder.
Mm-hmm.
And so Cameron's sitting there trying to like scoop his umbrella, hits me in the face, scoop his umbrella through the little hole, and then it didn't work. But
Did it fall or?
No, it didn't fall. I just quite literally... Oh, it's got the curvy handle, so I'm going to insert it sideways and then turn it up. But the sideways was space that Katie was in, and just smash in the face, turn up,
Mr. Dapps comes back, camera bag, umbrella.
stab.
It was amazing.
Most problems can be solved by stabbing. Viking blood.
Why? So here's my question: if it's Viking blood,
Yes.
why do you look like a '90s henchman who gets killed in the first 10 minutes of the movie?
That will be explained later.
Oh, there's an explanation.
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, I was hopeful.
I was deferring, and you totally called me on it.
Well, because they always say that, but then they end up dead the first 10 minutes, so you never know the guy's story. Anyway.
So if I die in the first 10 minutes of this episode, you know what happened.
But then it's okay because they get a
Also on
backstory.
Sunday, we'll just keep moving right along. I started a new... Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was excited.
I'm glad. We started a new series called Sunday Spotlight, and every week, it's whatever I just happen to find interesting. We spotlight on the website, and this week I decided to spotlight Figment and Journey into Imagination. Have you guys experienced this in Epcot?
No.
Yeah.
You have not yet.
No.
You'll get too soon.
We spent 13 hours in Epcot the one time I have been, but we somehow did not go
See
near there.
Figment.
Yeah, so I'm really excited when I go back this
Talk
year.
about Figment.
Figment is bonkers. He's kind of the mascot of Epcot. I think he's the official mascot of Epcot.
I think he's officially the mascot of the Imagination Pavilion.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
It all started with a figment.
so Figment is an imaginary thing that I feel like to describe it as like it's like the id. I don't want to get into psychology, but like the id. It's the I'm gonna try that and it's gonna be awesome. Let's go. Like everything about him is just go do the thing, and it makes me really really happy.
Random trivia question is, who knows the voice of Figment?
Oh
currently?
gosh.
I had no
Not
idea.
I.
All right, I'll leave it on the Twitter. We'll see who gets it first, and they'll get a geek point or something. Whatever
One
we
geek
give out.
point that can be spent at the Geek Corner point store that is not available anywhere.
Yeah, you never know. Also, over the weekend, we watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It came out this last weekend. It's doing very well in the box office. And
Katie, you have thoughts?
Katie has thoughts. it
I
looks like.
wrote an article about it that you can find on DAPsMagic.com. But since you're not at DapsMagic.com right now,
Are you sure?
they're pretty much on the GeeksCorner.com or on YouTube.com.
Okay, yeah.
One of the
That's a good,
.coms.
good point.
But I thought it was really fun. My only hang up about it is that sometimes I felt like I had to turn my brain off. Because it was fun in that it was really funny. There was a lot of really awesome action happening. But the second I tried starting to rationalize any of it or dig deep, I started to not enjoy it. And then I was like, no, Katie, you're having fun. Like, stop trying to go deeper than it is. With the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's all supposed to be very deep and interconnected. So the fact that I had to do that, not great. But I walked out being like, I really liked that. Like, I had fun. I would die for Baby Groot. I'll fight you over Baby Groot. It does not matter. And I liked it. But they were... I don't want to steal from what you guys are going to say, and I don't want to talk too long. But they were trying to do a lot at once, which kind of took away from other stories they were trying to tell.
Cameron.
I agree.
And Groot.
That's it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, goodness. I completely agree that it was very disjunctive. I mean, the whole thing just felt kind of thrown at the screen. That being said, I feel like we have been talking we've been critiquing a lot. At the end of the day, I really enjoyed the film.
Yeah.
Like, I had a great time watching it. But I enjoyed it more during than I did after.
That's for sure.
Which is... Whereas with Star Wars, I enjoy it during and then enjoy it more thinking about after.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I enjoyed it during and then took less enjoyment out of remembering the really, really funny quotes individually afterwards. The plot was a little bit all over the place. They kind of came together with a cohesive story towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple of fantastic...
Is anybody surprised by the plot?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, you were?
There was a plot twist that got me.
Really?
The whole theater gasped, and I was part of that.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it was a cheap shot.
It was.
But
it got me. I was sleep deprived and not expecting it.
But I was surprised in the lack of cohesiveness of it.
Yeah.
Even the first one had a very cohesive story to it, or at least more so than this one. But yeah, I was a little surprised there wasn't more effort put into that.
So we have a question from the Twitter from William Fonda. Who was the best character in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2?
Drax
am
the
Groot.
Destroyer.
Rocky Raccoon.
It's probably Rocket. Bradley Cooper did an amazing job.
Rocket's always been my favorite protector of the galaxy. But in this movie,
Who would have
there's...
guessed they could add depth?
I liked him.
I know, I'm saying
love
that.
my little trash
I
panda.
agree with you.
Triangle face monkey.
That was-
Triangle. Yeah. He's a trash panda, and I love him.
Is that better?
My
I don't
child.
know.
It's worse.
It's so much
I'm
worse.
pretty sure it's worse. No, I think you're right on. I was surprised how much I liked Rocket Raccoon in this one, and
He's so good.
I think that was clearly a setup. And you look at the marketing now that they're doing for Mission Breakout, which, by the way, the commercial that just came out is
so
fabulous.
Good.
They're obviously setting him up to be a main driving force of that. And I think they emphasize that in the movie because of that.
Mm-hmm.
so before we continue on, we have a few guesses on the voice
Okay.
of Figment.
They also have the internet.
We can't confirm. So.
Jason Awesome is guessing Michael Eisner.
That's the voice of imagination. I'm sorry.
Steven, our friend up in Montana, is guessing Keira Knightley. She's got the range.
Yep. I would give Keira Knightley that part too. I would do it.
Sarah over in Phoenix is saying Billy Barty, which would have been correct originally, but is no longer correct. So that's the closest to the answer.
That's way more depth than I could have possibly
I'm
imagined.
impressed.
Wait, isn't that Morgan Freeman?
And and
Off stage,
William
we had
Fonda
a
is
Morgan
guessing
Freeman.
Eric Idle, since he's a scientist on the right as well. It seems logical because it'd be his imagination and his...
Oh, like projecting?
Yeah, I see. But
Oh,
no,
that'd be-
none of those are the correct answer yet. You can look in the article if you want, or Google it. That's fine.
It's actually Circus. If you can believe that.
Andy
He's
Serkis.
he's in everything these days.
Mm-hmm.
That was the end of that joke. Now you say something.
The way you were pausing, I thought you were gonna say.
I was waiting for the second half.
Because
of
you
it.
were like like that's.
Actually, no.
Imagination
You're saying
finds
it's
a way.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, it's probably Jeff
Okay.
Goldblum.
Imagination.
Going
finds
back
a way.
to the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Sarah says, I love that they fleshed out Yondu's character a whole lot more.
Yes.
That was good.
I actually thought that was one of the strongest parts of the movie.
Definitely.
Was the his role, and then I'm forgetting his name. Planet Dude's role.
Ego.
Ego.
Well, I will say this, being the official super comic book nerd of the group, Yondu's character, especially in the first film, was very different than he was in the comics. In fact, Yondu is one of the original Guardians, which they kind of referenced towards the end of the film. And he had a bow and arrow. Like, the arrow thing was contrived for this film, but it's brilliant. I love that. But he looked really different. And if you've seen Volume 2 at this point, he gets a new headpiece that actually is moving much more toward what he looks like in the comics, which was actually just part of his head. So I think they went closer back to the original, but the whole kind of deliverance-y tone that they had to him was not part of the character originally. I think ultimately it was a good choice, and they brought it back with this movie. That's one of the strengths I'll give to the film. But yeah.
Can I say one more thing?
You don't have to raise your hand, though.
I know.
Go.
I was just making sure.
Present.
Like, I was like, wait, hold on, before we end this.
No, let's keep going.
I thought it was super interesting, though, that they went the new Star Trek route and they killed off the ship in the first 10 minutes. I thought that right when it happened. I was like,
supposed to say spoiler before that.
that's the first 10 minutes.
Little spoiler.
Spoiled. That's okay.
Spoiled.
We
They
do have
kill
a
the
correct answer from Sarah on Figment. Dave Goals.
Dave Grohl? Dave Grohl
Grohl.
voices
Mhm.
Figment? He really can do anything.
I was going to say, I heard he's in the Muppets.
Not the Muppets.
Yes. Aren't you impressed? I just lost my microphone.
We just need 2 turntables and we'll have a song.
Is it still working? Yes. So, what was your favorite part of the movie? Without a spoiler.
See, that's tough because there's a lot of really good little moments, and the movie as a whole is not whole, but there's lots of good individual. I'm gonna have to give it, and I think I'm hoping I'm not taking it away from you.
You might.
It's
but
possible.
It's Yondu's moment.
They can't
it's
hear me
not.
now.
Okay, so my moment is that one Yondu has, I think, 2 standout lines. There's a really, really funny one that's not my choice. But his moment, and I won't tell you anymore other than he's holding Star-Lord at the time.
Just his moment.
Just his moment. I love that because it's simple and it's very effective for what it is.
Agreed.
Mine does not contribute to the plot at all. It is, what's her name? Antennas? I can't think of it.
Mantis.
Mantis. She is being introduced to the group.
Mm-hmm.
She, Rocket is not paying any attention, and she goes up to Drax and she goes, "Can I pet your puppy?" And he just goes, "Yeah."
Wasn't it? No, it wasn't puppy. It was like disgruntled puppy or something. There was a
No.
descriptor, wasn't there?
No, that was later
Oh,
when
okay.
she called Rocket a crappy puppy.
It was the pause before Drax said, "Yeah," like he agreed.
Yeah, because he stops and he thinks about it, which he had a very good character development
Yes.
in this movie. So
I am so much like Drax. I love Drax so much. Ugh.
I am Drax.
I enjoyed the opening.
Yes.
that's true.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the better openings
a
in
good
a movie I've seen recently. I'm not going to say of all time, but so final question on this movie: where would you rate it compared to other Marvel movies?
Ooh, okay, so are we talking? So
This
like
is
the Avengers
MCU,
and
yeah.
okay. For enjoyment, it's very high. I feel like this is the kind of movie I'll certainly be quoting for longer than the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just more quotable. Story-wise, though, it's somewhere in the middle.
I feel like, because I'm now reading it on the scale of enjoying it during and then enjoying it after. And I feel like most other Marvel movies, I have the same, I enjoy it during, and then I think about it later. I'm like, wow, that was really well crafted. And I don't have that after experience for Guardians, which is concerning. I still do. The amount of times I've said this week, I need to go see that again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not that I dislike it after, it's just the more I think about it, the more plot holes I find, or the more, I don't know.
And they threw so much good
There was a lot
moments.
going on.
See, that's the thing. I pride myself in being able to walk out of a movie and probably quote 90% of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a skill. I can't do that with this one because there's just so much. don't get me wrong, I've been trying, but there's a lot.
Every time I've seen Cameron this week, since we have seen it Thursday night, he has said something from the movie.
Yeah, you've been quoting it a lot.
Yeah, but there's so
It's
much.
So here's
It's
a
been
question
good.
from the Twitter also. Do you think we'll see more of the Sylvester Stallone group in future movies?
I hope
Yes.
You hope not.
No, I don't hope that we will, but I think that we will.
not. So Sly's group in that is, well, at least part of them, and then a few that are added are the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
They've done some weird choices with them story-wise to bring them back, I think. But yeah, they're the original Guardians, and theoretically they should be dead, to the best of my knowledge. So,
But
they're alive.
Going on that, Dapps Murray did write an article about all the little Easter eggs in Guardians, which there was a lot I didn't know because I'm not in the comics.
Fun fact: Stan Lee was in the movie.
Hey, you're supposed to say spoiler.
So it's a fun fact.
They yelled at me.
Fun fact.
For those of you who couldn't hear, our producer said that Stan Lee is in the movie. It was a shocker.
although it was a good.
It was a
Stanley
good shocker.
It is a good one.
It was
Oh, it's
one of my
good.
favorits.
Oh, and to agree with you, there was stuff like I catch a lot of spoilers in these movies, or I
Or
catch a lot
Easter
of
eggs.
references, Easter eggs, words.
They're not called spoilers if you're watching.
Like one of the end scenes references a character that I didn't even remember at all. They're going pretty obscure with some of this
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, I don't know if they're stretching or they're just really looking for interesting directions. to go,
But I'm just hoping that they're not going too many directions.
Yeah.
Because if this one went in too many directions, I'm afraid of them keeping what they did in the second movie and then adding so much more that you're gonna be like, I don't even know what I'm watching anymore.
Right.
I'll be curious to see where the next one goes.
Oh, for sure.
It'll definitely be interesting. William says, compared to other Marvel movies, I think this one is probably just below the middle of the group for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of think it was middle, upper middle,
It's just hard
just because of the fun factor
when there's so many really amazing Marvel movies.
and the different genres they're starting to cover.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like it's a completely different ball game than like Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
and it'll be really interesting to see as they all come together.
What's gonna be interesting with
Infinity Wars.
Ragnarok?
Thor. Yeah.
Yeah, and that one's gonna be completely different than we've seen with him.
And even
as well.
the trailers we're seeing have weird tonal shifts even from the other Thor movies too. So
Yeah.
it's weird, but it's good weird.
Keep on watching. All right.
We will.
Let's actually go to what happened today. You went to Disney California Adventure. Why?
Did because
Because
I
that
got a
will lead
text.
into what we did on Sunday.
They took down the construction walls for Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, which so exciting because we're that much closer to actually getting to ride it.
Like
which,
3 weeks, right?
May 27th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I know some people aren't excited because whatever, but a lot of people weren't excited when Mad Tea Party came around because Tron, and you know
That's a
it's-
fair comparison, actually. I
It
didn't think of
is.
that one.
No, because people were wearing shirts that were like, I heart Tron, but this will do for now. Like, same concept. A lot of people still aren't going to like it. Disney's about change. But I'm so excited because it's something so new. There's 6 new storylines to explore. I love Rocket, obviously, and he is going to be taking the lead on this attraction. You can walk from where the gift shop used to be, kind of. There's still barriers blocking. You can pretty much walk around it, and so seeing all of that got me so hyped. The signs for like the warning signs of like why you can't ride it, and I was really expecting there was a sign that was like this attraction's closed, and I thought it was just going to be the one that they could do when it goes down for refurb, but it literally said come for the grand opening May 27th, and I was like, oh, wasn't expecting that from a little disposable sign. I thought they would just make it a generic one for refurb, but I'm so excited, and we're so close.
They're putting a lot into theming on this.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel?
I'm stoked. I mean, I certainly had feelings, and there's a great article on DeppsMagic.com you can read about Twilight Zone going away that I wrote, and how we shouldn't be too terribly worried about it. I love the Twilight Zone, so I was sad to see it go away, and I know we're rehashing that over and over.
Good
but,
plug.
Thank you. Guardians, though, this looks so good, and again, that commercial that came out this week just shows how much effort they're putting into theming your experience when going on this attraction. So, I'm on board.
Well, talk about the reaction too to this trailer clip, whatever you want to call it. Like, I was surprised at how excited people are about this, and a lot of them are the same people that were complaining about Tower of Terror a few weeks ago are now like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever, blah blah blah. And do you want to add something?
I feel like as we get into the home stretch, people are getting more excited.
Well, I think it's starting to become real, and you're seeing what it's going to come. And I think there's always going to be that sense of loss of like Tower of Terror, because it really was one of the best themed attractions, and kind of put Disney into that whole era of completely immersive attractions that maybe started with Indiana Jones. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that can from start to finish immersion. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's taken it to a whole new level. But for the record, Bailey says that she enjoyed Electronica more than Mad Tea Party. But
I never got to experience Electronica.
Electronica was pretty cool. Actually, they were all good.
There for like an hour in high school. That's it. Dance parties aren't my thing.
There you go. But
I will say this on the note of the theming for this. One thing, and this is true of actors especially, but just concepts in general. Anytime anything can make fun of itself, I respect it all the more. And if you watch this commercial that came out, it's Disney making fun of themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're interrupting the most stereotypical Disney commercial ever.
Did it remind anybody of the Lilo and Stitch marketing where Stitch was breaking into all the movies? Anybody remember this?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it reminded me of that. But all right, well, it comes out in a few weeks. We will be covering it. We'll be at the opening event. It'll be blast. Murray and I will be there, and well, hopefully it's not a real blast, but we'll see how it goes.
The Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's the Guardians of the Galaxy. Who knows what will happen? Next, we thought it would be fun to play with Guardians a little bit more, and our good friend William Fonda got us this wonderful Tater Groot, which is hashtag Tater Groot. We've created the hashtag, and we're going to use it all the time.
We're the only people that have ever used it.
We were amazed.
We were shocked. We looked on Sunday, and nobody had used Tater Groot. So we had some fun with Tater Groot.
Fun with Tater Groot.
Took him to Disneyland. It started with a cup of coffee, but then it kept going. Then he decided he wanted to watch a parade, so we watched a parade, and it was...
What Groot wants.
Yeah, what Groot wants, Groot gets. And then he decided he really wanted to leave said parade after he waved at it or something. Yep, there we go.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
And head on over to Cars Land. Cars Land's where he wanted to go next, actually. And then Bugs Land. And then he tried to go on Mission Breakout, but it was closed. And then ended there, I believe. There might be one or two more shots. But yeah, we had some fun taking pictures of Tater Groot throughout the weekend. And we will be posting those on the Geeks Corner Instagram. That will be the home of Tater Groot. And if you have ideas for where you'd like to see Tater Groot go, let us know, and we will have him with us. And it will be fun, I think.
Not impossible places. Difficult, yes.
Yes, it has to be doable, and we can't be breaking any rules to get them. But yeah.
The Depps Magic crew respects the parks.
Yeah, so another plug, I did an article a week or so ago about the why of Depps Magic. It's something we're going to be focusing on a lot, and one of the opening premise of it all is it's awesome to be a geek, especially a Disney geek, and so we thought we would turn that into a segment called It's Awesome to be a Geek, especially a Disney geek, which clearly I need to make white because it's hard to see.
Text!
Thank you.
Here, can you read it?
So this week we thought we would start this segment off and basically just talk about something geeky that we thought was awesome in the last week that just explains why it's awesome to be a geek, especially a Disney geek. And this is a perfect segue into May 4th, which was the day to be a Disney geek, it seemed like, or Star Wars geek. And Katie's geeking out over here, so just take away.
Like that face.
I had so much fun. So there's a huge rivalry in my store where my manager really loves Star Trek and he's never much into Star Wars. And so I told him the day before, I'm going to come to work dressed as Han Solo. And he was like, yeah, okay, of course you are. And then I realized that the Han Solo costume isn't much out of dress code at all. So I was like, I'm going to come to work dressed as Han Solo. My shift started at 3:30 in the morning. I dressed as Han Solo, got coffee all over my white undershirt. Does not really matter because I was at Starbucks as Han Solo, and none of my customers understood what was happening. They were like, I don't get it, but one of my baristas came in.
Glad you're having fun.
Made a Han Solo joke, and then apparently posted on Facebook about how his coworker with the Millennium Falcon tattoo came to work as Han Solo, so we were doing May the 4th right. So.
Awesome.
Doing May the 4th right.
My work experience was similarly geeky themed.
Your boss is such a jerk.
My boss is a complete jerk. and normally wouldn't go for such things.
Not at all.
So I have a very high quality lightsaber that you've probably seen on the show before, and I had brought it with me to work because that's what you do. And it ended up being that we went around to different coworkers. I work with a fairly large staff where I'm at, and just pretty much handed a lightsaber to random people and said, "Picture, go!" Some of them were like, "Okay," and then some of them were like, "Ah!" And then just started like running around. It was great. It was a very good experience.
For the record, I'm his boss. I'm not calling somebody else a jerk.
Yeah, that is important to know. We were being facetious.
It was very fun. Go ahead.
No, sorry. Something that was very funny was that was the night we saw Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay dressed as Han Solo all day. So I walked into a Marvel movie dressed as Han Solo, and I did not care.
And I had a Star Wars tie and a Gold Squadron pin.
Star Wars.
Casual.
Yeah, that's the way to do Guardians. Cameron, I think we're going to save your segment for next week because we need to do it right and we're running out of time.
Okay.
So let's move on to Chalk Walk, which opened today, the registration. So Team Dapps Magic is now online. You can go to dapsmagic.com or you can go to chalkwalk.org/dapsmagic because they actually made it so you can get URLs this year.
Yeah, mine is /Cameron. That's important later.
Okay, well, we're almost out of time. So, so we'd love if you joined us. We really want to have a huge team this year. The event is August 27th, I believe. It's always a lot of fun. We always wear hats. It's ridiculously early, so everybody's a little bit loopy, and it just ends up being one of these things where you're walking for a really good cause with really good people, and you meet a ton of really fun people along the way as well.
If you've never seen Morning Daps, it's worth it.
It's an adventure.
That's for sure.
It's an adventure through inner space. I don't know. So talk about your outfit. Is this that point?
Yeah, it's that point.
Or your Cameron
Friends,
thing?
Romans,
Neighbors and countrymen.
countrymen. Lend me your ears. I really like my beard.
Do you?
I do.
What kind of beard is it?
Robust.
Beardy.
I'm a big fan of it. As you've probably noticed, it makes up 90% of my wardrobe ensemble choices. I'm really good at playing bad guys because of it. Notice the henchman outfit. I did do a callback. See?
There he
Good.
is.
Proud of you.
There's only one thing I really like more than my beard. Well, two things. My wife.
Aww.
I know.
Romance.
Yeah.
It's not dead.
Also, winning. I really, really like to win. All right? So, and this is probably one of the only ways this would ever happen, I'm making an offer to you, oh great internet. We are doing fundraising. We have a lofty goal as a team, the Depps Magic team, of $5,000, which is quite a bit more.
It's more than we've ever done before.
Yes. But I want to be the one who does that. So this is a stretch goal. I don't actually think it's very possible, which is why I feel very comfortable saying it, but prove me wrong. If I, individually, not as a team, but individually, can make the $5,000 mark. Individually. That is me, not the team, but me make the $5,000 mark. I will shave my beard. I will take my beard off.
We'll film it too, right?
With
Yes.
bare hands.
With my bare hands.
Yes. So,
Maybe we should use a bear claw.
in fact, I'll take it a step further. If you are
Step
capable
further.
of doing it, if you are somehow able to be in range, and you are the largest single donor to
What if they just donate $5,000?
Yeah, if you donate $5,000, I'll let you shave my beard personally. But whoever is the largest donor, if we meet this stretch goal, will get to choose method of shaving and do it themselves if they really want to. I'm specifically calling out a few people, including my mother-in-law, who I know really wants to see this beard go away.
The question is, are you going to regrow it afterwards?
I may, but I don't know how long before.
I think you have to wait. Don't you think he has to wait a while?
Yeah, I'll probably keep it off for like at least a month. I think that's fair. But clean shaven,
Through Halloween.
baby butt skin.
That's a month and a half.
Yeah, okay. Through Halloween, I will keep the beard away. But
$5,000
I have to make $5,000 personally. You can go to is it chalkwalk.org or
chalkwalk.org/Cameron.
For mine specifically. Now, mind you, this is all for a very good cause. Chalk, if you're unfamiliar, is a great hospital down here in Southern California. It does some great work helping out kids. And not just kids, but their whole families. They do a fantastic job taking care of them. So it's a really, really good cause and tax deductible. So
And with the money that has been raised, I believe it was last year, they opened up a mental health wing. So the money is doing things. It's doing really good things.
yes, so I'm really about this. Probably the only reason I'd be even willing to get rid of my beard. But if I can make the team's goal by myself, and we've got 3 months now. In 3 months, preferably sooner, but 3 months, I will shave. The sooner I meet it, the longer I'll have the beard off. That's a valid point.
That is also true.
That's a very valid point.
Other thing to notice or to note is as you think about joining our team, join it early. I've noticed that they each year have raised the donation requirement to be a part of Chalk Walk, and that's just because the thing is so full.
Yeah.
And so there's a very good chance it will fill up, and you don't want to be stuck outside because it's very fun. It's very meaningful, I guess is a good way, and you might get to see Cameron without a beard.
Try it. I dare you.
Everybody wins.
I want it to happen.
So tonight we are going to end the show with a meme courtesy of our good friend Bailey,
love memes.
They're
celebrating
my favorite.
May 4th and an old Geeks Corner moment where Johnny Five tried to kill me with the Force,
And you
with
smack
the caption, "The Force never questions its power" on Geeks
I love
Corner.
Good
it.
throwback.
It's a good
That was
throwback.
one of my favorite Geeks Corner moments. That was so gratifying to know that I could deflect lightning.
That video makes
from
me
a
giggle
Sith.
every time I see it.
It's a,
Like,
it's a
just
fun
pure
video.
giggles.
All right, well, that's about all the time we have for you tonight.
You should probably go visit thegeekscorner.com.
Yeah, it's supposed to just flow.
Yeah, I know. There was a
Let's
pause.
do
I
it
was still
again.
thinking.
Let's do it again.
Okay, let's try to take.
So that's about all the time we have for you tonight.
I'm really gonna miss my beard. Try to make me get rid of it. But watch previous episodes on thegeekscorner.com. You can see everything that we've done, some of the other silly antics, find out why there was lightning in that picture from before, but really see everything that we've done on this show there.
Go to dapsmagic.com, read our opinions on things, see pictures of Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout without the walls up, and how beautiful it is. Nana put her foot on me. You can't see that there.
You've been chosen.
But I've been chosen. But go there and read our opinions and thoughts.
And find us all on social media. We'd love to connect with you, and we'd love to continue the conversation throughout the week. But that is all the time we have for you tonight, so we will see you around the corner.